All right, this has been on a video before. I'll put a link down below. This is a video distribution amplifier. So video comes in and 4 go out. It's for closed circuit TV, and it was from the old days, black and white, and it only had to go to 5 megahertz bandwidth. And so when I tested this thing, it went to 5 megahertz, but I wanted to use it on a 10 megahertz rubidium or a disciplined oscillator, whatever you want to use. Just distribute your 10 megahertz across your lab. And it was distorting at 10 megahertz. It would have worked just fine, and there was no reason to have to do anything. But unfortunately, a viewer sent me a copy. He sent me the link to the schematic for this thing. And now that I have the schematic, I said, well, you know, I got nothing better to do today. Why don't I go ahead and convert it to 50 ohms, because it's 75 ohm video. So convert it from 75 ohms to 50 ohms, and also see if I can't speed it up to 10 megahertz. And I've done both of those things. This is what you need to do. You need to get rid of these guys, because these guys are the wrong value. Yeah, so it's just resistor swapping to make it work, and I'll show you it working. So the way this thing works is there's a power supply that generates, 10 volts and operates it all. So there's 4 channels. Each channel is just two transistors, an NPN and a PNP. The video comes in here. It comes across to these 4 amplifiers, and they go out. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, out. And so the first thing I did was convert it to 50 ohms. So that was easy to do. Coming into the device is here. There's a 75 ohm to ground. So I changed that 75 ohm to 50 ohms. And then the output in series, there's a 75, 75, 75, 75. I changed all those to 50 ohms. So boom, now we've got a 50 ohm device. No problem at all. So changed 5 resistors to 50 ohms. All said and done. Now I want to speed it up. Okay? And I looked at the input to the amplifier here. So the input comes over here, it comes in, and there's a little filter before it gets to the amplifier. There's a 220 ohm resistor and a 22 picofarad capacitor as a low pass filter. And I thought, that must be it. They're rolling it off. All I need to do is maybe change that 22 picofarad capacitor to a 10 picofarad capacitor. I can double my bandwidth and everything will be hunky-dory. Nope. If you do the calculation, this filter has a cutoff around 30 megahertz, so that's not the problem, okay? That is not the problem. Then it comes into this thing, and being one of simplicity, I like to do things in easy ways, not have to think very hard, okay? So whenever I see a situation, I try to just tickle some values to see if I can make it move in one direction or the other, okay? Like I can short that 220 ohm resistor out and see if that speeds it up. Or I can get rid of that capacitor, desolder it maybe, and see if that speeds things up. But these other ones, like I first thought, well, maybe the input biasing was wrong. There's a 47K pull up and a 27K pull down. I thought, well, maybe I could bias it a little bit differently on the amplifier. And so without even removing any resistors, what I did was I took a resistor box, okay, and I put it across the resistor. So let's say I'm interested in this resistor, this 47K. I'll put some clip leads across that resistor, and then I'll dial in a parallel resistance to modify this value so I can pull it up harder. Or I can modify this value and pull it down lower. I can't make things go higher, but I can make things go lower. So I tried that, and I tried that, and I can make it move. I can make the biasing move, but it doesn't speed up the thing at all. And then I looked at the output, and I thought, okay, well, a lot of times in like a common emitter amplifier, you can put in a emitter capacitor and speed things up at higher frequencies, and maybe I could tweak it up at the end. I thought maybe doing that, but I thought, well, let me tweak these values as well, just to see. It's some strange values in here. Not strange, but a little bit odd that they have these two in parallel. I don't know why you would do that. Why would you have these two in parallel, okay? So, where's my, oh, it's right underneath. I'm holding it. Here is a video amplifier I found online. It looks pretty familiar. Instead of an NPN, we have a FET, but it should operate the same way. You wiggle the input, and then it wiggles the output. And look at here, it has the two parallel resistors and something going across. The feedback resistor goes across. And I thought, well, maybe that's what they had in this one originally. And they kept modifying this resistor that would go right here. And they just said, you know, the lower the value, the better it gets. And they just said, well, we'll just take it out. And they didn't bother choosing a new value down here. They just took it out. I don't know. That's my guess. I'm going to stick with that. So that's that one there. I did find another one, another distribution amplifier, if you want to build one of your own. This one's kind of interesting. Over here, we have the exact same circuit. We have it coming into an NPN PNP, exactly the same configuration, okay? Almost the same values. And they take the output of this one and they run it into an emitter follower to make it more grunt. And then they just use three resistors and take it out. So instead of having 3 amplifiers each for the outputs, they just put in some resistors. So that's kind of the crude way to do it. Okay, but they use the same circuit here, so that's kind of interesting. All right, so what did I do? Well, I put my clip leads on some resistors and started tweaking them a bit, and I found that tweaking this resistor right here, this 1K resistor, is the collector resistor for this first NPN. If I lowered that value, it sped it up. Okay, a little bit more current, maybe turning this guy off a little harder. I don't know. Anyway, it made it better. So I changed the 1K resistors to, let's see, 560 ohms. Okay, it went from 1K to 560. And the reason that I used 560 is I put a 1K in parallel and it worked great. And values around that didn't work as good, so it should be 500 ohms. I used a 560, and it works great. So that's what I did here. I changed I changed 9 resistors. 9 resistors. All right, so let's see if it works. Okay, I am inputting a 1 megahertz signal at 1 volt peak to peak. And we have 500 millivolts, so there's our wiggly. And I'm going to be using this generator right here, which is a maximum 15 megahertz function generator. So we'll be using that, okay? So this is 1 megahertz, 2, 3, 4, 5 megahertz. Now see if we can get better than 5 megahertz. If you remember, past 5 megahertz, it started to distort. The bottom started to thin out a bit. So here's 5 megahertz, 6 megahertz, 7 megahertz, 8, 9, 10. It's starting to thin just a little bit, but it's way, way, way better than it was. So anyway, I like this better. So I'm going to say it's good. So let's see how 11. It looked more like this. It used to maybe even worse than that. Oh, this is 15 megahertz. This is as fast as I can go. So this amplifier now can at least go to 15 megahertz. So it's very nice now. Anyway, just a little project for the day, having fun. Yeah, I'll button it up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a marked up schematic and I'm going to put it inside so people will know. I'll also put a label on the front. 50 ohms and 10 megahertz, so it's ready to go.